So this is lesson 2 inside of chapter 1 in our textbook. And so if you were to have your math workbook today, there are some good examples that we'll be going through, and you can kind of track through our workbook and kind of bring that the rest of the week as well. This is example 1. This is called a multi-step equation, or in this case, it's just 2 steps. All right, so let's take a look at this particular problem. I go to the side that has the variable, and by sides I mean there's my equal sign. So I have this side and I have this side. Okay, here is my r value, my variable in this location. And I want to start undoing stuff, but I don't take care of the 1.5 first. I take care of the plus 3 because I go to the side that has the variable and I undo the things that are further away from the variable. All right. So right here I'm going to subtract 3, and whatever I do to one side must do to the other side, right? There's my sides. So I'm going to go over here and go minus 3 right there as well. I like to draw a line in order to emphasize to start a new row and rewrite your answer, rewrite your equation. 3 minus 3 turns into 0, but honestly I don't have to write that, right? So we just kind of don't do that. We just cross them out instead. 3 minus 3 is 0, they go away, that's the whole idea. Try to isolate the variable, get the variable on one side by itself. All right, so right here, I'm going to subtract 3 and I get 12. I rewrite it, then I drop it down right here and I go 12 equals 1.5r. Definitely want to rewrite it to keep yourself organized. All right, next step is to divide both sides. And so I divide both sides, this side over here and this side. I chose to divide because this is multiplication in between here. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I need to divide by 1.5. Okay, and remember, anytime you have any number divided by itself, they cross out because it equals 1. And multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything, and so that's okay. So whatever I do to one side must do to the other side, right like this. And so I divide by 1.5 on both sides. These cross out, and what do I have left over on that side? I have an r and an equal sign. Drop that equal straight down. Try to keep it organized. Show your work. So from this point forward, you must show your work on every single step. Or I deduct points for not showing your work. If you just magically have an answer up here, then that isn't enough. That doesn't cut it. All right, so where's my calculator? What's 12 divided by 1.5? All right, so here's a 12 divided by 1.5, and it equals 8. All right, final answer, put a box around it. It says up here, check your solution. If I was to check my solution, let's get rid of that. Then it would look like this. I would take that 8 and I would plug it back into the original. Okay, here's my original. 15 equals 1.5r. Okay, and I'm going to put it into this location right here where the r value is. All right, and add 3. So that's my original equation. I plug my value in, so it's 15 equals 1.5. 1.5 multiplied by, and I leave an empty spot where the r is located so that I can put my 8 into that spot right there. Here, let's go plus 3, and then I'm going to put my 8 into this location right there. That's where the r value was, and now it's multiplication, and all I do is simplify this. So it's 1.5 times 8. 1.5 times 8 gives me 12. So this would be 12 plus 3. And yes, 15 does equal 15, and so it checks out. That is checking my solution, making sure that it's correct. I may ask you to do that on a test, all right? Because there's a lot of value in just being able to check our solution and plug it back in future chapters, future units. That'll be a really important thing to know how to do, all right? So let's go ahead and go to our next example. Clicking down on the list and go to example 2, 3, and 4. Awesome.